Hey everyone, Brent here from Goalorious. Today I'm super excited to be joined by Randall from Funware. Thanks, Randall, for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Brent. Really excited to be here. I really appreciate everything you're doing to kind of spread the word on crypto and educate, a new flock of people into the industry, but also keep the ones that have been here a while, keep the hopeful faithful, and let's see what we can do.
Things are looking up, so
That's
I think
right.
that's great. So yeah, I obviously heard about Funware and all the great things that's happening. Obviously, you guys are jumping into blockchain and all the exciting stuff going on with that, and so that's why I thought it was interesting for you to jump on and talk to me about this. So maybe we could start with who you are and your role in the company, and then obviously what Funware is all about.
Yeah, I love it. You really got to kind of understand what we do and where we came from to understand, why, we're doing what we're doing. I always tell people in crypto, you got to kind of always ask yourself why blockchain, because a lot of people are just chasing a fad. That's not what we're doing. I'm the chief operating officer of Funware. We're a publicly traded company. Funware actually started back in 2009. We are a dominant player in the kind of mobile application space. So we built the first NFL app, the first NASCAR app. We built most of Fox's mobile application portfolio. We did the Sochi Olympics. We've done the presidential election in 2020. We've done hotels, hospitals, stadiums, airports, you name it. When it comes to taking a mobile application and turning it into a mobile ecosystem that allows brands to engage consumers, that's where we thrive. And so all the things that we've been doing in order to do that are really designed around engagement. It's really designed around gamified experiences. It's really about how do you turn your mobile device into a mobile concierge. And so it's not just content consumption, not trying to help you binge watch Netflix or fight with somebody on social media. I'm really thinking about like contactless check-in at a hotel, using your phone to open the hotel room door. I'm thinking about, we just launched at Atlantis in the Bahamas. So it's one of the largest luxury resorts in the world, 140 acres. Now you can use your phone to find your way around the entire island, and you can book any experience, discover all these new cool things you can do. A big portion of our business is healthcare, so tech enabling the continuum of care. And so kind of fast forward to today, we're really thinking about blockchain as an awesome extension of our platform. So everything that we've done for the last decade is how do we contextually engage consumers? How do we take all the information in the virtual world, curate it, and use it to inform real world experiences? Like, I don't want to disappear into the metaverse. I just want my real world life to be better. I want to tech enable the real world. And that's what we do better than anybody on the planet. And so now we're thinking, okay, well, if our existing platform helps us get the right content to the right person on the right screen at the right time in the right place, what if we could incentivize that engagement? I mean, if that engagement is so valuable to a brand, they're willing to pay you to engage. They might be willing to pay you to show up on time for your doctor's appointment. They might be willing to pay you to check that bag and not put it in overhead storage. They might be willing to pay you to refer a friend, watch a video, answer a question. There's all these things that brands want you to do more of if they were king or queen for a day. We want to blockchain enable that. And then, if we're doing that, and that's generating all this really rich, amazing data, every time you click something, share something, go somewhere, you're telling someone who you are, where you are, what's important to you. That's data. There's no surprise. Data is the most valuable asset on the planet. And so we also want to be able to blockchain enable a data ecosystem. So we want to say, okay, well, as we're engaging you, you're generating all this data. Let's turn this data back over to the consumer. Let's let you really own your data. And then if anybody wants to buy your data in order to better target or better personalize experiences with you, then by gosh, you should be paid for that too. You should be in control of your data and you should be compensated for your data. So we're really building this really cool ecosystem where everything feeds itself. If you've ever kind of heard of the flywheel construct, that's what this flywheel really does, where our mobile application ecosystem drives engagement. Our engagement can be incentivized with Fun Token. That's this guy
Yeah,
right
love
here.
it. Yeah.
And Fun Token is that generates more data. We want that data to be controlled by the user and then be able to compensate those users anytime that data is then sold to better engage people through their mobile applications that they know and love. And so it really creates this really interesting virtuous cycle. And we're the first to do it. We're the first public company to really kind of really go out on a limb and have not only a utility token and fund token, but also a security token in Funcoin. And so it's in a really exciting time. You can manage all of those assets by downloading Fun Wallet. It's available today on iOS and Android. And man, we're going to really try to set the bar for what compliant blockchain as a service looks like. How do you really actually work with real brands using blockchain to both incentivize engagement and authenticate who you're engaging? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's awesome that you guys are a company. You said 2019, you guys have done a lot already. I know you listed some great names.
2009, actually, not 2019. 2009.
Okay.
We've been around for 13 years.
Time flies. Wow, 13 years. So yeah, you guys have done a lot. I know you listed a lot of mobile apps. So probably we've been using mobile apps that you guys have probably developed. So that's great. You mentioned like medical apps. I went to the doctor. Everything is fine. My general check-in, and I used a mobile app that was saying, I was like, there's no way. There's an awesome mobile app. I don't know if you guys made it, maybe, very likely. But the idea was like, this hospital probably didn't have the research to do this. So it's great that you're doing these partnerships. Medical field makes a ton of sense. You're always anonymously giving away this information, but it's helpful for them, for a lot of different things. So I think that makes a ton of sense. And then to your other point about, there's users out there that want to do things to get rewarded. So like whether that's filling out surveys or things like that, we're doing those type of activities already, so why not get something out of it? And I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think you guys are also offering a lot of different things. I think the location one was interesting. I definitely want to be rewarded for showing up early to something like my doctor appointment or some sort of appointment. I think it's really clever, and my main point is that it's great that you're not only thinking about the users and things like that and the token, but also like these partnerships and how that works to help out these big brands, because this is probably things that they've been actively looking in, and they're looking for ways to obviously been working with you since 2009. Now they're thinking about, how do we get into this whole crypto blockchain thing? Obviously, you're a partner with them already. It's an easy, easy transition for them and a realistic transition. So I think it's a great thing. So.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. You touched on two things that I think a lot of people don't realize about us. One, that longevity is important, but two, we've really been innovating in our space. We're not just a custom dev shop. And so what we decided to do was say, let's take all of that continuity, all of that experience we have as a mobile company, and let's actually build a platform that allows you to license mobile software the same way you would license a CRM from HubSpot. And so gone are the days where you have to find two Freds in a shed pounding away on a keyboard and then try to build a mobile app that'll take you a year, and it's gonna, they're gonna disappear on you, and you're gonna have to spend twice as much as you thought you would to build a mobile application. Now, come to us, we'll license you our software, our platform. It's easier, more feature rich, reliable, scalable, everything you need to grow a mobile ecosystem, because let's face it, we live in a mobile first world that's probably gonna feel mobile only soon enough. And so one of the big things around engagement is actually location. A lot of people don't realize this, but Funware has some of the best location software, if not the best location software on the planet. And I don't say that as a boastful entrepreneur. We beat, Google for Kaiser Permanente's business because of our location software. We beat, 4 other vendors to prove you could do it on a cruise ship. We've done it in the most complex situations, pretty much known to man. And really that is this idea of triangulating a mobile device inside a building the same way you would locate a mobile device using GPS and satellites outside. And so what that allows us to do is find you so that we can engage you contextually. And that's really exciting for us, because that's going to be table stakes going forward if you're thinking about digital transformation. And so every time you want to think about, where is my customer? What information do I need to get them? What actions do I want them to take? How do I ensure that they're getting the best possible experience? First, you got to find them. And so we deliver that out of the box as one of our software solutions, which is really exciting, so that brands can better engage their consumers.
Yeah, I think when you think about like which type of industry, which company needs a mobile app, literally everyone. Like literally, you maybe a couple years ago you wouldn't think so, but obviously, mobile first world, like it makes things so much easier. And you gave that example of like Atlantis, where like that's what you want to do. You want to make people's life easier and just more seamless, and that's how a mobile app does it. So I think that's makes a ton of sense. So maybe you could talk a little bit. I know we talked about Funware, we talked about Funcoin and Funtoken, things like that. But maybe you could talk about like where you guys are right now. Obviously, you guys are still doing tons of partnerships. You guys are obviously working with a ton of people. Obviously, and again, every time I ask this, I'm not asking for spoilers or things like anything anything that you're willing to share for sure. But definitely want to check in to see like, okay, where do you plan to go in the near future? Like, what does it look like a week from now, a month from now, maybe even sometime in the near future?
Yeah, we talked about this before it started. I think people are struggling right now with just kind of where the crypto market is. And that happens anytime there's a disruption, anytime there's a really meaningful innovation, you're going to see that. You saw it in the dot-com boom. I would imagine, we weren't around, but, any other great, the Industrial Revolution, everything else, there's always going to be people who seek to be opportunistic, sometimes in a constructive way, sometimes in a destructive way. And so I've kind of been known to say, blockchain is a massive house of cards right now that is built on a lot of marketing, a pretty fair amount of fraud, and a lot of confusion. However, it is still one of the most amazing innovations to reach the global economy since the Medicis introduced double entry accounting. It has a profound opportunity to have a profound impact on every industry imaginable. The concept of decentralization is transformational. But to get from here to there is going to be very hard. And there's going to be a lot of people who lose money. There's going to be a lot of people who make money. There's going to be a need for people to educate themselves. And I really think you're going to see eventually this flock to credibility and accountability. Make no mistake, decentralization as a whole is amazing. Decentralization is an amazing concept, but it's a little pie in the sky. The reality of most decentralized projects is there's no leader, there's no vision, there's no resources, and they don't get anything done, and they squander people's money, or they cash out early and they leave investors holding the bag.
Yeah, like community driven, like we'll let the community figure it out, but sometimes
exactly, and the community's out buying a sandwich somewhere. The community's out, doing Zumba, and so what you really need is centralized organizations pushing forward decentralized ecosystems. That's what Bitcoin was. Make no mistake, when a couple people, we can debate who they were in an office on a computer, typing that white paper, coming up with cryptographic principles to underscore Bitcoin, that was a centralized effort. That was a centralized effort to give birth to a decentralized concept. And so that kind of, think about the long nights. Think about, they could have done a million other things. They could have given up. They could have done something else. Think about for the first, couple of years after it was released, you got to tell people about it. You got to try to convince people to buy a pizza with Bitcoin. So that was a centralized effort. It wasn't decentralized then. It took a while to become decentralized. And so if you want anyone to effectively deliver decentralized ecosystems, you got to give them a reason to do it. And unfortunately, a lot of that's going to be capitalism. It's going to be getting the resources around the table, getting the companies around the table, getting the people around the table, getting the marketing around the table to give life to these opportunities. And so that's what we're doing at Funware. So fast forward to today, being a public company, we can't do things, let's call it, we can't skirt the law like so many other people do. Let's make no mistake about it. Most people are trading in, unregistered securities. And a lot of people decided that was a little bit risky, so they created NFTs to skirt securities regulations. And the whole world didn't all of a sudden wake up and decide to love art. They're just transacting value, and they're hoping that value will be worth more tomorrow than it is today. We can't do any of that. We're a public company. I can't just shut down a company that I registered in Malta and go disappear to the Mykonos. We are fully doxed. We are fully audited. We report every quarter, every year. And so we have to do this the right way. We want to set an example for what right could look like if you were going to leverage blockchain for real world enterprise applications. And so we didn't raise any money to build this. We built it ourselves using our own money. A mobile app would be most crypto projects' big claim to fame. They're like, look, we've got a mobile app. And we had a mobile app before we let anybody, even purchase fund tokens. So we used our own resources to begin building out the foundational functionality of our system. And now, we're just introducing that to brands. We're not out trying to trade on a bunch of exchanges. And, we are the first public company to ever have a digital asset show up on a decentralized exchange, because that's the beauty of an ERC20 token. It can, obviously be swapped on something like Uniswap, which PHUN token is available. But if you look at all the volume on centralized exchanges, and you wonder, like, how is this, pardon my French, shitcoin doing $3 million of volume? The answer is they're not. That is wash trading to create synthetic volume to justify their existence. And 70% of most volume on most centralized exchanges is faked. And a lot of people don't understand that. They don't know that. We're not going to engage in that under no circumstances. It's not right to, the retail community. It's not going to be what enterprises are looking for or what they will respect. So we're trying to do everything the right way. We have an amazing team. We have over 100 employees. About half of those are incredible engineers. I know you get to work with amazing engineers every day at Google. That's your life's blood. Our average tenure for our software engineers is over 5 years. They love working on what we're working on. The C-level team has been working together for over 9 years. We've been in the trenches together, and we, I used to spend about a decade as a venture capitalist, and I used to always ask entrepreneurs, what's your walkaway factor, and how easy is it for you to just quit and go do something else? Our walkaway factor is high. I deployed $3 million into Funware before we went public in December of 2018. All of the founders have significant skin in the game. A lot of our investors are still around the table. They believe in the vision of what we're doing. And I think it's going to be companies like us that really give people a shining example of what crypto should look like. Stop chasing silly names, silly people, teams that you don't even know who they are. They're hiding behind an avatar somewhere because they have no plans to see it through. And really look for real world utility, real world companies, real world initiatives that can actually do something in the real world.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of companies are crypto projects are trying to launch stuff and then kind of like, okay, hey, we have some followers and we have some, market cap. Okay, let's try to fill it in by okay, let's start building stuff. But you guys are obviously a solid company that's been doing fine for a while. You just see as blockchain as the next big thing, and you're kind of moving into that. And you see a lot of companies thinking about trying that, but you guys are definitely one of the first movers, and obviously you have a ton of partnerships and relationships, and obviously you built out your team, and I think you guys are well positioned, obviously for the future. And I think, like I said, I totally agree with you. Lots of crypto projects out there are trying to become legitimate companies, trying to build things like that. But I think it's definitely hard. You can't just come from nothing and then just have all these relationships and build all these processes. So again, just kudos to what you guys have done. I definitely want to see more companies that jump into blockchain the right way, like what you guys have. And that's why I was excited to talk to you today about your project. And it seems like you guys are doing a lot of different things. So like I said, if my community is interested, definitely follow them. I'm on our socials. That's definitely the place to be. But is there anything else that you think that my viewers should know? Anything about the opportunity? Obviously, there's you guys have a lot of great resources, which I'm going to put in the description. But again, you mentioned it too, that PHUN token is available to purchase and things like that. Obviously, you guys do your research, things like that. But I think, Randall, you're laying the foundation of, hey, this is what we are, this is where we came from, this is who we are, this is our vision, and this is how we're setting it up the right way. And the companies that we do work with, the brands, etc., see the value in this, and I think that's the right way. So obviously, you could see how the utility of the PHUN token itself is kind of manifesting. So I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to mention regarding that. Obviously, there's a bunch of things in PHUN token in terms of rewards and things like that. That's all baked into it, which is awesome. But I don't know if there's anything else that you want to mention.
No, I think that's it. I mean, I would encourage people to get involved. We're always available. The entire exec staff, the entire leadership is always communicating, with the community. So, go to funware.com, go to the about section. You can check out a bunch of blogs, a bunch of videos, everything that kind of we do, what we stand for. And then, download Fun Wallet. You can go to funwallet.com. All these F sounds are a PH, not an F. And so, Make sure
Right.
you go to
Excellent.
Fun Wallet, download it on iOS and Android. You can go to funtoken.com, learn more about our utility token. You can go to funcoin.com to learn more about our security token. And I would encourage people to go to Telegram. You can go to @funfam, also with a PH, so PHUNPHAM. And then you can also go to Fun Token Chat and kind of just really get engaged with the community. You can also go over to our Discord server and really kind of look for that next higher level up of engagement for kind of that thought leadership around what we're doing. But early days. We're excited. We're appreciate everyone's attention, everyone's support. But man, if you're watching this now and you're getting to know crypto now, you are light years ahead of the rest of the world. So don't feel like you missed the big boom just because Bitcoin is more expensive now than it was before. We are still so early when it comes to the evolution of blockchain. So you're light years ahead of a lot of your peers. So thank you for having me, and we keep an eye on us. We're gonna do some special things.
Thanks, Randall. Last thing I wanted to mention was you mentioned it, thought leadership. I've seen a lot of videos that you guys have been doing about like education in the space, which I definitely appreciate. So thank you. Obviously, when people think of crypto and blockchain, they think of all the negative things. You obviously want to help change that. And you're not just focused on, hey, Funware itself. You want to show to the world that, hey, crypto blockchain can be more than what people perceive it to be. And I think that's awesome. Definitely helps out the whole entire ecosystem. So thank you for that. I've seen some of your lots of great videos out there that you guys posted of your at conferences, things like that, actually talking about it. So that's awesome. I'll put some of the links to that. I watched some myself. So thank you for that, Randall. It was a pleasure talking to you today. So I'll put all these links in the description. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.